Hey guys, one of the things you want to consider when it comes to Islam is if the Quran is the word of Allah and it's eternal, according to most Muslims, it's eternal. Why is it necessary to have the Hadith, which is a body of literature that was written by people who recorded things that they heard Muhammad say or saw him do after his death sometime. There's different dates and whatnot. But why would you need the Hadith to explain to you the Quran when the Quran is supposed to be clear? That's one of the indications that it's the word of Allah, is because it's clear. So if it's clear, why is it necessary to have the Hadith to explain it? And even then, the Hadith, you need to have Hadith scholars to interpret what are authentic and inauthentic, or weak Hadiths versus strong Hadiths. Like you have to be a scholar to determine. You can't just, you can go online and get the Hadith. We can put a link in below it, and you read through them, and some of them are ridiculous. Some of them are, silly things that you'll be amazed that this is anyone would ever believe this. But you need a body of scholars and they don't agree on which hadiths are authentic, or there's no unanimity of beliefs on this, which ones are good and bad hadiths. But they study, these hadith scholars study the narrators of the hadith, whether they were men with integrity, whether there was what their closeness, their link to Muhammad was, whether they were men of good character and good memory, and they have all these criterion that they use to identify these narrators of the hadith, which they're supposed to know 1200 1300 years later about these guys, and that's how you can help to qualify a good hadith versus a bad hadith. So to me, it's, if this is the word of Allah and it's critical that you need to have these other accounts to explain the Hadith or the Quran, you need these other things to make sense of the Quran when it's supposed to be sensible, then it seems like it's undermining itself, the authority of itself. And Muslims will say, well, the Hadith is almost presupposed because it's needed to explain certain things in the Quran, and that Muhammad it was told in the Quran to obey Muhammad, and the only way they're going to say that can be carried out is if you have the Hadith and you know which ones are good and authentic and which ones are not. So again, you can't, the Quran can't stand on its own. It's not self-authenticating like the Bible was 600 years before Muhammad. The Bible is self-authenticating. It teaches what's necessary for the preconditions of intelligibility. For the Quran, supposedly the word of Allah, doesn't do this, and needs another body of literature that has to be sorted through to help you understand the Quran. It's to me, it's just you're adding more layers, and the best you could come up with when it comes to qualifying a good hadith versus a bad one would have to be probability based, because it's historical. So now you've got a probability based historical account telling you what the Quran, which is supposed to be infallible, what it's supposed to mean, to make sense of it. So again, it puts the Quran into a subordinate role to the Hadith when it's supposed to be the word of Allah. So it seems to me that that's a problem. Like, I would think that Muslims would be Quran onlyists, and that's a movement that's rejected in Islam. So again, all you got to do is you can look at some of the debates on the Hadith, look at some of the Hadith literature yourself, and see that a lot of it is nonsensical, a lot of it is irrational, a lot of it is unethical, a lot of stuff in the Hadith that is not good. So again, it seems like it poses a problem for Islam. So check it out and come to your own conclusions on this. But